Hello from Cardinia Health Pelvic Pain Clinic. Here are my top 11 tips for better bladder comfort and control. I'm Celia Bolton, a pelvic health physiotherapist, and I want to acknowledge that I'm living and working on Wadawurrung country, and Wadawurrung are the traditional owners and custodians of this land. I also want to acknowledge my privileges. When you've got pelvic pain and/or endometriosis, it's important to realize that it's all connected. You can see in this image that there's conversations that happen between organs and muscles, and that happens at the spine and the brain. You can see uterus, bowel, bladder, and all the muscles around the pelvis, including the pelvic floor. This busy picture shows how the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system controls your organs. On the left, the parasympathetic is a recovery state, and you can see what happens in the recovery state is things like emptying your bladder, emptying your bowels, and pleasure. This state is an anti-inflammatory, anti-pain, and a muscle relaxation state where our body is also very much more adaptable. On the right is the sympathetic nervous system, and you would know that as the fight, flight, freeze, or stress state. It's pro-inflammatory, pro-pain, increases muscular tension, and reduces muscle adaptability. Let's hone in a little bit more. There's two important things to see from this, besides the fact that it's all connected. There's two grayed out zones in the center, which represents the levels of the spine. The first one is T10 to L1, and the second one, I want you to look at S2, S3, and S4. These are parts of the spinal cord that have an impact on bladder, bowel, and uterus. On the right-hand side, you'll see this small circle called the DRG. We're looking at it again here. This picture on the left, shows the two regions, the T10 to L1 and the S2 to S4. It shows that DRG in the process and where the nerves eventuate and where they make control. Why is the DRG important? Well, the DRG is like a volume control. It responds to cortisol. So when I say later on manage your stress, it's because you can turn down the sensitivity of your nervous system by managing stress. And remember, anything you're doing to try and help your body, it's going to take time and perseverance, because this is what success really looks like. So here's the tips. Tip 1, look after your bowels. Regular, easy bowel motions will help your bladder. And you can see in this picture, very oversimplified, the impact of what a full bowel might have on bladder, but also what's missing in this picture is a uterus. And so they could have a big impact there as well. Tip 2, drink mainly water. Depending on the climate and your size, 1.5 to 2 litres should be good, mainly on the 1.5, and don't overdo it. Tip 3, be pelvic floor savvy. Don't be scared to learn how to contract your pelvic floor. We need people to be able to relax and contract their pelvic floor at will. Tip 4, empty well. Your bladder does the work of emptying. Sit down, don't hover, legs wide, clothing out of the way. Relax your pelvic floor and abdominal muscles. Breathe easy, don't strain ever. And even to finish emptying the bladder. If you don't feel empty, stand, jiggle, sit down and go again. And use your stress management techniques, specifically if there is pain. Tip 5, relax your belly. The picture on the left shows two people responding to an urge. There tends to be this bending over and tensing. What they've found is that actually puts pressure on the bladder, much like pushing sauce out of a sauce bottle. So relax your belly with an urge. Take pressure off your bladder. Tip 6, curl your toes to settle urges. That's actually a really interesting fact, and I really love you to try it. Tip 7, explore your sensitivity. Drinks or beverages to monitor are caffeine and tea and alcohol, and commonly sensitive food groups are acidic foods and spicy foods. Whilst these are in the literature and all over the internet, I want you to know that we need to stick to your personalised program and patterns. Dietary responses actually vary greatly from person to person and from time to time. So keep exploring your sensitivity, it will change. Tip 8, like I said before, is stress management. Fight flight changes bladder control. Use bite-sized stress busters all day. Tip 9, you can use a TENS machine for urgency. This is in the sacral area, that picture on the left, the lower spine, and the other picture on the right is what we call S3 and why curling your toes works, but using the TENS in that area can settle the bladder. Tip 10, you can use TENS for bladder discomfort. You can either use it over that T10 to L1 area, or you can put it over the area of discomfort. Tip 11, get checked out and get help. A GP are wonderful to look over your whole health system and work out what needs to be assessed and what referrals you need. And a pelvic health physiotherapist can help you with many of the things in this video. And thank you for listening. The end.